RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great time. That's Imagine Dragons. What the heck is that song? Time? It's Time, I think it's called. There we go. I probably should have been a little more prepared. Needless to say. Doing a show, and I think the title's something in the realm of how can I tell it's happening right now? I think this is one going to be just some good, helpful tips in general. But two, I think a lot of people have these kinds of questions frequently. They're not sure that things are happening. How can I possibly know? And then we kind of go down this path where we frequently try to redo and do again, and then try more imaginal techniques and try more meditation and try more this and that, because we're not sure that the process has begun. We're not sure that we've actually put it out to the universe or pushed it up to our higher self, as I've said in other shows, and then kind of pushed it out. We're not sure. So what I've kind of got here, and this was something that kind of hit me last night, frankly, is something I remembered from a long time ago. And it was, I don't remember which author it was, frankly. This goes back, I don't know, 25 years. It was way before I ever studied any law of attraction stuff, way before I studied Neville Goddard, any of that, right? This was back when I was just kind of learning how to make things happen in my life, and I didn't really know there was fancy names and manifestation and all these things. But it was one of the real keys that I've actually used numerous times in my life as a means of trying to essentially know that the process is in action. So a lot of times we talk about the imaginal work, and I've actually had people reach out and say, what happens if you can't imagine? I understand there's some difficulty there, and sometimes we've got to learn to practice, and so a lot of it is just truly trying and then trying and then trying again, and you'll start to notice improvements, right? But one thing that, and I mean this, and I wish I could remember where I read it, but it goes back forever ago. But if you can see it in your mind, it's real. It's in process. It's a reality that you can visit. And I know some of you out there are going to be like, no, there's no way it's that easy. It is. If you can see it in your mind, if you can see it, especially with the more clarity that you can see it with, it is that much closer to reality. You are truly viewing a reality in your probable future, and the fact that you are able to clearly make it out means that that is coming to physicality. It is starting to coalesce into physical structure. A great example of kind of how this plays out in my world, and kind of what popped it into my head last night, is I was thinking of my specific someone, of course, like I do frequently, but I was imagining conversations in different arenas. I was imagining making dinner together. I was imagining sitting down and watching TV. And what got to me was I was seeing all these different sceneries, all these different moments of us together, waking up together, coming in and flirting with her when she's about to hop in the shower, like all these things where I'm just like, I can see this clearly. I can see her reaction. I can see me coming in and maybe tickling her or just wrapping my arms or whatever. And the more I was thinking about all these things, the more different scenes I could see. And I remembered from forever ago, I'm like, well, you're seeing it. This reality is around the corner. Because like we've talked with a lot of people, I still have my moments too where I'm like, I hope this is working, right? Because, I'm getting nervous. I'm getting up close to the day where I'm going to find out what's going on. And so sometimes these thoughts pop into my head and so I've got to remind myself, dude, this stuff's happening. You can see it. It's reality. And that spun me into my last little point here. I like to talk about how it's all happening right now, and I still think that's a great one. But I kind of, for me, came up with another little adage, and I think for a lot of people out there, this might also work for you, especially if you're in a situation where maybe it's a breakup, where maybe you kind of started and something happened, and you're going to kind of get back into that area again, right, where you're going to rekindle your feelings with your significant someone, your special someone. For me, I realized I've got a new beginning coming. A new beginning. A chance to build everything from where I wanted to build it 5 years ago, but I have a chance to start it over now and begin anew with the most wonderful woman I know of on this planet. So my new beginning is on its way, and I know it is because I can see with clarity in my mind's eye all these wonderful events. And to kind of touch on the last point, for those of you that are obviously saying right now, well, what if I can't see a whole bunch of stuff yet? That's okay. Here's how you fix that. Keep doing your imaginal work. Because the more you do of that, the more that reality becomes clear. And when you finally get to the point where you start seeing all sorts of different scenarios playing out in your mind's eye, that's when you basically know you've done enough imaginal work. You've done it. You're done. Now it's an issue of get out of your way, let go, give up, whatever you want to call it. You've done the work. Get out of your way and let it coalesce. And that's really what's going on. We're calling out to Spirit, saying, Spirit, higher self, make this so. Bring this energy in my head, right? Bring it into physical reality, because that's all physical reality is energy coalesced. Atoms come together, they slow down their vibration, the energy kind of shifts and gets more dense. And that's really how structure takes form in the 3D world when it comes to manifesting. So again, if you're not seeing it in your mind's eye yet, that's okay. Keep doing the imaginal work. That's how you know you've got some more imaginal work to do. But if you are seeing it with clarity, that's a reality that you're looking at. You are seeing your probable self, your probable future. You're seeing what is beginning to take shape. It's a powerful tool. I hope it makes sense, but certainly learned this eons ago, and I have found this to be the case. Whenever I've tried to imagine things in my life, in my past, when I got my radio job, it was the same concept. I spent a bunch of time imagining being on the microphone at this radio station, and I did. Just kept imagining it. It became more and more real, and once that happened, I'm like, this is totally mine. This is totally going to occur. So again, use this as a great little tool to kind of help gauge where you're at in your manifestation process. And hopefully, when you've got that clear picture in your head, you can use that level of confidence to back away from some of the questioning that we frequently do, like I was even doing yesterday. Some of it's just nervousness, right? And that's kind of exciting, and that's why this new beginning. I just remembered back when I first dated her, how nervous I was when we first went out. So it's pretty cool, and she's nervous too. So it's a good experience. So hopefully this helps with everyone out there. Going out with an Adele song. It's called "Rolling in the." What the hell? I really should have wrote this stuff down. "Rolling in the Deep." Stay on RadioStyle. Hope you guys enjoy. Hopefully this makes sense. And I'm also going to be doing another show a little later today. Listener or a viewer success story that was actually very, very cool. And it kind of gets into letting go. So keep all these things in mind. And again, another show is going to be popping out a little bit later today that's going to kind of give a great example of how letting go benefits us. Stay on RadioStyle.